This is what plant-based cheese looks like. This looks like skin.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Today, we're going to take some international dishes that you suggested and do our best to make them vegan.
This is really good.
You were not excited about this at all.
No.
Plant-based.
That has a good flavor.
Yeah, it's like the only flavor I can taste now. The burning.
Maybe even whole food plant-based. This might fail before it even begins. You're not going to swallow it?
I'm not even gonna put our tongue on it.
Stick around to see how we do. You wanted me to make this? I like this a lot. Hot?
The more I eat, the worse it gets.
Mom,
start booking some restaurants.
Hey! Greetings everyone and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel we focused on all things plant-based goodness and we wanted to take a moment to thank our amazing audience for getting us to the point where we are nearing or recently surpassed 30,000 subscribers. And we want to take it a step further and recognize how excited we are by how international our audience is. I asked you to submit some traditional dishes from wherever it is that you live so that my family could consider trying to make a version that is plant-based vegan. I think some of what you sent me was to legitimately torture me, and I respect that. But before we get into all of that, I'd like to give a shout out to our PB with J family from around the world. Vicky from Dallas, Texas, Abigail from Durango, Colorado, Eilish from Connemara, Galway in Ireland, Jean from Barbados, Charlie from Northern Territory in Australia, Candy from Oklahoma, Stacy from Sault Ste. Marie, Sherry from Wisconsin, Elizabeth and Graham from Saline, Scotland, Catherine from New Zealand, Shirley from Georgia, and Tanya from Montreal. If you'd like a shout out here on the channel, all you have to do is say hello in the comments down below, let us know who you are and where you're watching from, and tell us something that you like about this video. If you want to bump up on that shout out list, consider joining PB with J 2.0 over on the Mighty Network, where you get advanced views of videos like this, as well as some other perks like the occasional giveaway and our members only community, which is just full of amazing, awesome, supportive conversations. If you're watching this video and you're not yet part of that amazing community of subscribers I talked about yet, now's your chance. Join us here for more videos like this. And by that I mean this is the first kind of video we've done like this, so maybe we'll do more in the future. Thank you again for submitting your international recipes to us. I printed them all off along with your names, and we're gonna put them into a hat and draw them out, and I let my family have one veto each if they need it. Apologies in advance for any butchering of your names, your dishes, or anything else that I'm very likely to mispronounce at some point in this video. Who wants to pick first?
A from Doug.
do one of us have to make this recipe? Like,
I'll make them all. I gotta convert them. Well, you can help.
I'm good.
That might be, yeah.
maybe. So the national dish of Greece is fasolada, which is a soup made with white beans and vegetables. Both are delicious and already vegan.
Oh, that's not much of a challenge. Do you want to pick that one? It's a softball.
It's not a challenge.
All right. So the next one we have to do.
Welsh Rarebit from Wales.
Welsh Rarebit. All right.
Don't yuck someone else's yum.
I know, but I don't get this. We're vegan for a reason.
So here's my challenge: is to make woolly like these,
It says
or lutefisk, wild rice. Let's see, and tater
I
tot
looked that
hot
up.
fish.
I don't know how you would make
Or-
that vegan. It's the most
It says-
disgusting. It's like bleached fish. This
love
morning.
to see
Come
a
closer, come closer.
loot fish pulled off.
No.
Let's see the loot fish.
No. Read about it.
Lutefisk. Lutefisk. It's dried stockfish, normally caught or lining, but haddock and pollock can also be used. Brined in lye, soaked to remove the resulting caustic solution, and then steamed until it flakes. You wanted me to make this? It's not really a meal. You're just asking me to make a fake fish. I don't know. Sorry. No. Look, there is a lot of people that like to make like faux meat stuff, and I'm definitely gonna do some of that in this video, but making the entire thing that is not something that I just am interested in. You can look at people like Sam Turnbull, who is a fellow Canadian plant-based YouTuber and recipe author. She does stuff like this. Her website is itdoesn'ttastelikechicken.com. So free plug to Sam. So let's not do that one. All right, Annie, sorry.
I guess that's my veto. New Orleans mock
Not happening.
Jambalaya?
What's that?
Mock gumbo or jambalaya. Oh, that's nice. It's like a stew. It's usually made with like shrimp and stuff. But We could do something like that. 4.
Faux seafood.
She didn't even read the rest of
I
it.
want the South African
You gotta come
one.
close.
Did you not filter these out? Did you not
I
filter
want
these
the
out?
South-
No, I picked. Hey, people
There were a
submitted.
lot of them.
There were a lot of
I
them.
want the South African one.
You can't pick. That's the whole point of the hat. Cheating.
Peach cobbler
Yay!
from Georgia.
So we got a dessert. Don't cheat. Get your hand out of there. She's trying to cheat.
That's what I really want.
And the jambalaya.
Sorry.
Get out. Now you're ruining it. You're ruining Christmas. Stop it.
Not Christmas.
Wait. Cheesesteak.
Oh my god.
Yeah! Let's do it.
I'm out of here.
Mom, can I come out with you that
Yeah.
night?
I can do this. I can do this with mushrooms.
This is like people missing meat, and I don't miss meat. I don't want to eat meat. I don't want any part of this.
Sorry. Willie's just
About-
having a crisis over there.
I'll eat the jambalaya, maybe.
I'm curious. Here's the thing. I'm down for this because I've never actually made a cheesesteak. But I'm so curious what my next one would have been.
Dad, you can take that?
These are these are what we're making.
I'll eat the peach cobbler.
You gotta eat them all.
No, I don't.
I can try them all.
You have to. Come on.
Mom, start booking some restaurants.
Hey,
It's not a fun 30K.
these are our subscribers.
I love you, but I don't love your taste in food.
I told them to pick traditional dishes from where they live. This is my fault.
It is your fault.
I'm gonna make these things so awesome, you're gonna eat your words.
I'll try them, Dad.
Thanks, buddy. So because Wooly was complaining the whole time, this is the one she really wanted to do. So we're gonna add a 5th one. Here's the problem with some of these recipes. I've never had this. I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. So ultimately, I'm gonna make something that I think will taste okay, basing it off some other recipes. Because I just have no idea what it's supposed to taste like. So keep that in mind as well as you watch this and judge my adaptations, is that I'm doing it from a place of extreme ignorance. Cheesesteak. Cheesesteak, it looks like this. So the bun part's gonna be trickier for Wooly. I mean, I could just put it on gluten-free bread for her. Make it like a sandwich for her. Best Philly cheesesteak recipe. So obviously I know what the main ingredient is. It's meat. Look at that. Jeepers. I think I know the obvious route I'm gonna go with this. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use mushrooms. And I'm gonna make my cheese sauce, which a lot of you know and love my cheese sauce. This one's gonna be easy and delicious. Annie probably won't love it because of the mushrooms, but maybe I can convert her. Maybe I do it with tofu. Maybe I do a blend. Okay, I got an idea for this. Yesterday, I already cooked some buns from whole wheat sourdough that I made for another video that's on the channel. But if you're familiar with using sourdough, it's a similar step. You're just gonna make it into buns instead of bread. Hey, Wooly.
You said buns.
Buns. My approach for the Philly cheesesteaky part is that I'm going to work on the meaty part, and Wooly's gonna work on the cheese sauce. The cheese sauce is just our typical cheese sauce, so I'll probably just overlay other times we've made it so you can see how we did it and the ingredients that are put into it. Otherwise, I have to jump back and forth. I'll try to shoot all of this, which is a bit complicated. The one new thing that we haven't done before is making this cheesesteak kind of thing, the meat part. So what I'm actually gonna do is I got some smoked tofu, which Annie is gonna hate, I'm assuming. Hey, Woody?
Yep.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this really quick marinade. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna put into it. It's gonna be a combination of vegetable stock, probably a little bit of maple syrup, some nutritional yeast, some mustard powder, a little bit of salt, stuff like that. I don't need to do too much. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the mandolin to cut this into strips, kind of like bacon. Let it sit in the marinade really quickly. And then what I wanna do is broil it in the oven.
Wait, you're gonna marinate the marinated tofu?
No, I'm just a little bit to add like a sauce so there's like a layer to it that has extra texture. It's more to create like, almost like putting a sauce on it, more than a marinade, like coating it. How's that? And then we're gonna broil it in the oven for 10 minutes on each side. And while that's happening, I'm going to fry up, and when I say fry, I'm using water saute, some mushrooms, green peppers, and onions. And then I'm gonna create like a little bar. So that way, if Annie does want to try this, we can keep the mushrooms separate. Although, do you think there's any chance she's gonna try this?
She has to try it. It's family rule.
She has to try it, family rule. Either way, I'm gonna keep the mushrooms separate, so that way everyone can kind of build their own at the end. And Willie is gluten-free, so we have some gluten-free bread for her. What do you think, Willie?
Sounds great.
You're not excited at all.
No.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Really fine, Jared. It's gonna be delicious.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be terrible.
You weren't sure about this meal.
Yeah, it's looking interesting now.
It's gum.
Yeah.
I like it.
So before you say anything in the comments, I know these buns are way too small. These are not hoagies at all, but this is what I was able to make. It is what it is. So basically it'll just be like putting the steak and the vegetables into the bun or on the bread and then covering it with our cheese sauce. A fork, huh?
I don't know. I've never had a Philly cheesesteak.
I don't even think mine will close.
This is really good.
You were not excited about this at all.
No, because you said cheesesteak. And that sounds gross.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't like meat. But this is really yummy.
Come on.
Really good.
We kind of made this up by thinking.
So it might be wrong.
Here's the, I don't care if it's wrong. This tastes good. No, we got all the right ingredients. Let me know in the comments down below if you think we missed like an element of the cheesesteak. This might be the PB with J cheesesteak. Forget about Philly. I mean, I guess we can score these. Might as well. What would you score, Willie?
Messy.
A C?
Messy.
Oh, messy. What would you score it on our tier?
S.
Same. S.
No.
It's still in your mouth. You're not even gonna swallow it?
I'm not even gonna put my tongue on it.
Well, how do you know if you like it?
I can smell it.
I think that's an automatic F.
Here's a napkin.
Oh, he likes it messy. What do you think? You gonna give me a response? Or you're just gonna keep eating it? I think that's enough feedback right there. He won't stop eating it.
Pretty good.
Just pretty good. You just like ate it for 5 minutes straight.
I'm going an A.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a little bit too burnt.
Oh, okay. But if I got the texture better, it could be S potential.
Cheese sauce isn't the best.
Let Ephraim know in the comments down below what you think of our cheese sauce for those that have tried it, because he doesn't know what he's missing. You got a cheese smile going on. New Orleans mock gumbo or jambalaya. First of all, what's the difference between gumbo and jambalaya? It's really a super stew that's often served over a little rice, while jambalaya is made with rice cooked into the dish, making the grain a more integral part of it. Kind of like the difference between soup and stew. I want to make gumbo. Authentic gumbo. This is from Tastes Better from Scratch website. After I go through your life story, this is my main beef with most recipes online, is that I just don't want to read your whole life story when I'm looking for a recipe. That's why our website is not set up this way. I know that they do this because it helps Google find the recipes and stuff better. It's all the keywords and stuff, but who doesn't just skip past all this stuff? I'm sorry, I do. So there's a roux, which is flour, in this case oil. Is that the case for all of them? Oil and flour. That's in half a cup and half a cup. This one is a cup and 2/3 of a cup. Celery, peppers, obviously all this is good. Chicken broth, that's easy to swap out. Here's where we get into it. Package andouille sausages sliced into coins. Meat from 1 rotisserie chicken and 2 cups of shrimp, pre-cooked. So tons of meat from 3 different animals. So what I'm hearing with this is I need something that's got a bit of a spice to it from the sausage. Chicken and shrimp are kind of easier. I could just do tofu for those things. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the sausages that aren't just using imitation meat, which would be the easiest way to do this. And maybe that's what I end up doing. The only other way I can think to make this sausage is with seitan, and Wooly can't eat that. All right, I got a plan for this. So for this gumbo, we're gonna swap out the chicken with like ripped tofu that I'm gonna throw in the air fryer. After that's done, I'm also gonna throw some chopped up Beyond sausage into the air fryer just to get it crispy. I'm gonna leave that for people to put on the top, which I'm sure only Ephraim and I will do. Otherwise, to start this off, we have to make a roux. Now, a traditional roux calls for equal parts oil and flour. I'm gonna try to swap it out with aquafaba. This might fail before it even begins. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's a real experiment over here on this part. In a separate pan, we're gonna cook the vegetables up until they're nice and, you know, translucent-y. I also have to make a Cajun spice mix because I don't have one. If you have one, you're good to go. But if not, you can make one using a blend of paprika, garlic powder, oregano, salt, onion powder, black pepper, and cayenne. Obviously, you know, put in as much cayenne as you're comfortable with. After that, we're just gonna add everything else into the soup pot back with the roux and just get that up into a nice little simmer. Except for the okra, we're gonna put that in last. So we're gonna let those vegetables simmer for like 15 minutes or so. And we're gonna add in the okra and let that simmer for another 15 minutes. Around the same time, I'm gonna add in the tofu as well. Sorry, I left that out, my bad. I'm making this up as I go along. Traditionally speaking, a gumbo would also have shrimp, but I'm just gonna use mushrooms for that. I know it's not even close to the same thing, but it'll give a texture element. This dish doesn't need more protein. It's already got tofu and the sausage on top. And we're gonna serve this over rice. And hopefully Annie will actually chew it tonight. I mean, you're swallowing it, and chewing it. You got further than last night.
It's spicy.
Yeah, really spicy?
I'm burning my lips.
Let's get Mommy's thoughts. What do you think about it?
It's got some spice. I mean, I think it tastes good. I've never had gumbo before, so I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. But it tastes good to me. Spicy. Yeah, it's got like a nice blend of flavors. Yeah.
What'd you get?
Probably like a B+ because it's not really my flavor palette that I love. But if you made it, I would be fine to eat it, if that makes sense.
Annie?
Maybe a C.
Yeah? Good enough to eat because you don't want to make something else.
I do want to make something else.
No. Yeah, the heat's creeping in. I might have over-seasoned it. Maybe not. I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, it doesn't have a crazy huge pop of flavor. It's like really subtle. It builds a little bit.
Yeah, heat builds.
I like it though. I have had a gumbo, I think, like a long time ago.
I haven't because I think it usually has meat in it.
Oh yeah. Traditionally a very meaty dish. I don't think I'd necessarily strive to make this again, but I like it. It's like a B+.
It's too spicy for me.
It's real close to an A. I might have just added too much spice.
Yeah, that's like the only flavor I can taste now. The burning.
I will say that the Beyond sausage is really nice in here. What do you think of it? You've never had it before.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Has a nice kick. Something potato, what is that?
Oh, don't eat that. That's like the roux that didn't get cooked. Just push that off to the side.
It's not that spicy. I mean, it's kind of spicy. But it has a good flavor. I don't know. I'll give it a B+.
Yeah, we're all kind of the same. Welsh Rarebit. Welsh Rarebit is a dish of hot cheese sauce served on toasted bread. The original 18th century name for the dish was Welsh Rarebit. The dish contains no rabbit. Great. I don't even know where to get a vegan rabbit. That looks tasty. It looks like garlic bread. Cheddar. Beer. Worcestershire, butter, mustard, and bread. Slightly toasted bread until... Okay, so this seems easy, but how do you make it? Spread a generous layer of the mixture over each slice of bread and transfer it to a baking tray and place roughly on the grill for 5 minutes or so until golden brown and bubbling. I don't think anyone's gonna like this. No one in my family wants to try this Welsh Rarebit. I have a friend that's coming over for lunch, and so I'm gonna try to force her to eat it and see if she'll have it with me. It's really simple. You mix together cheese, beer, mustard, and Worcestershire sauce. And I'm using my plant-based cheese. that I showed you earlier in the video. So that's it. It calls for like grated cheese, I think, traditionally. I don't have plant-based grated cheese right now. I don't want to waste this. So that's what you're getting. It's gonna be more of a spread that way, probably. Let's make it. And then I'm gonna air fry it for, you know, like 5 minutes or so. Let's see what we get.
One debt to society later.
All right, what are we doing here, Jer?
You just eat it and let me know if you hate it or not.
So can we talk? What is? Remind me of the name of this.
This is a Welsh Rarebit, which is traditionally it's just grated cheese with beer, English mustard, and Worcestershire.
And this is traditional to
Ireland.
Ireland.
Probably a lot of places in the UK.
Okay.
It's kind of like a boozy grilled cheese. I mean, this is using my plant-based cheese. You normally
This
use...
is what plant-based cheese looks like. This looks like skin.
Cheers!
Cheers. Hot.
I just came out of the... The beer's very strong in it.
I enjoy this for like maybe one more bite.
But you could, they say you could put like, often they'll put like ham on it or bacon or something like that to make it more of a sandwich.
I mean, it's good. What kind of cheese is this?
That's just my plant-based cheese that I make with like carrots and potatoes.
Oh, you make it?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
The cheese is good.
Wow. Are you gonna finish yours?
Probably. It's not, I don't not like it.
Part of my food experience is looking at the food. It's very kind of visceral, right? It's like
Oh, the food doesn't
every
look, it doesn't
sensory.
look good.
This looks like a burnt skin. Human skin. Oof. But I mean...
The beer flavor hits me really hard.
I don't mind it. I like that bitter taste.
It's growing on me.
I mean, I'm still eating it. No one's stopping me.
It's true. It's hot.
Very, very hot.
It is hot. It's kind of like Cheese Whiz, eh?
Oh, you cooked it in your new air fryer.
Little air fryer.
Typer.
Look at that. Thanks for the plug. We'll put the link down below. All right.
Just subscribe and hit like.
All right, bye. So my rating on the Welsh Rarebit is gonna be like a C+. I would never make it again. I didn't hate it though. Like the taste kind of grew on me. I'm also not a beer person anymore. I want to give it a B, but I think it's a C+ in my heart. African Bobotie. My first thought is it looks kind of like shepherd's pie. The South African dish is a delicious mixture of curried meat and fruit with a creamy golden topping, not dissimilar to moussaka. Oh, I like moussaka. I mean, I used to. Back in the day, slices of white bread. Cold water over bread and set aside to soak. Squeeze the water from the bread and beat into the meat mixture until well blended. So like breadcrumbs, but wet breadcrumbs? Do all of them do that? And then for the egg custard, that's gonna be the trickier one, is eggs, bay leaves, cream, milk, and pepper. That custard is gonna be the hard part, I think. So for a dinner, I'm gonna make this African Bobotie. And you thought I was making bubble tea. It's not bubble tea. The thing that's wonky to me in this recipe is that you take a slice of bread and then you soak it in water for 10 minutes and then you squeeze it dry and you just throw it in the frying pan with everything else. That's okay, sure. To thicken it, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, so basically we're going to cook up some vegetables like some onions and garlic and carrots. And then we're going to add in some lentils, some broth, some spices, and then basically cook that down until you like raced in here just to do that. So you're gonna take the vegetables, you're gonna cook them down, and then you're gonna add in the broth, spices, lentils, and then you're gonna keep on cooking that until the lentils are nice and soft, like 10 to 20 minutes it says. While that's happening, you're gonna throw everything else except for the bay leaves into a blender, and you're gonna make the topping. So I'm gonna make it out of silken tofu. Again, I couldn't really find a vegan version of bobotie that looked interesting, so I just made one up. So if this fails, it's entirely my fault. So after the topping is ready and the stuff on the stove is cooked, you're going to lay the topping out into a casserole dish and top it with the custard. And before I bake it, I'm gonna put the bay leaves, 4 bay leaves on top of the custard. Because I've seen bay leaves put on top of custard in other recipes. I'm gonna bake it at 375 for 45 minutes.
Wow. Eve, come see this. Oh, this dinner. Looks good.
It's blowing
Meh.
it?
I'll
Totally
eat
meh?
what I have and then I might have some pretzels.
So what do you give it then? See?
Yeah. The more I eat, the worse it gets.
Very thingy.
Hot?
No, very cardamom-y.
There's no, oh yeah, there is some cardamom in it. Hot? Mommy, do you have an opinion while waiting for him?
I would like to add vegetables to it.
It's bland.
Is it really?
Not bland.
What would you add? There's carrots in it.
Yeah.
Pepper.
Just,
I
Pepper?
don't
Pepper's
know.
good.
yeah.
The
Onion.
more
There's
I
onion.
eat, the worse it
More
gets.
onion.
What other vegetables did you add?
Anything really.
I
What?
put some spinach in, maybe at the end, some kale or spinach.
Zucchini?
Can I make
Peas?
Can you be good?
Am I supposed to mash this up together?
I would eat it together. Did you give it a score? You have a score for it, Eve?
I don't know, like a B.
Yeah. I think it's really tasty. I'm debating like maybe a B plus.
I think it's very flavorful. I've never had bobotie. But I think
Bubble
for
tea?
me, I would add some
Oh, a lot.
vegetables. And I think that would be really nice because it's very lentil heavy right now.
I like the custard. I like this a lot. I don't know. I'm really surprised.
You crazy.
No, the longer the flavor sits in your mouth, the more it builds. I would say this is like an A minus. I'm gonna put it in the A category. I think we can get this to an S. For you and I do. I don't know about these two. I think the flavors are right. Just add some more vegetables.
For me, it's like, it's just too much lentil. Like, I like lentils, but I want something else with them.
Yeah.
You know? But I think it's supposed to be like this, but we're going to do our own version of bobotie.
So next up is the Georgia Peach Cobbler recipe. 12 tomato. Oh, that's just the website. It's called 12 tomatoes. I was like, I'm not putting tomatoes in a peach cobbler. Come on. This is interesting how they tell you the number of ingredients when you do a Google search now. Well, that's new. Okay, let me get through the story of your life. Oh! Canned or frozen peaches. This is good because it is not peach season where we are. So I'm going to have to use frozen or canned peaches. Here's the thing. I have a cobbler recipe that I actually call an any fruit cobbler recipe. So I'm probably going to use that. But I do want to know kind of what's in a typical cobbler. Yeah, this is what a cobbler looks like to me. I'm not concerned about this one. Desserts are easy. We're gonna make that peach cobbler now. And this is actually based on my own cobbler recipe. Oh, what's that you say? Where did you get that Don't Yuck Your Yum water bottle? And the shirt? Well, both are in the merch store. Thank you for enduring my shameless plug. So here's the problem with making a peach cobbler in, what is it, April? It's the end of April when we're shooting this. It's not peach season here until the summer. So I couldn't even find frozen peaches. I'm literally using peaches from a can. So I'm just gonna not rinse them off, but drain them, get rid of the slightly sweet liquid stuff they came in. And I don't even know if I need to add sugar to them because there's sugar on it already. Normally I would just put a little bit of coconut sugar and some cornstarch with these. I can probably cut down on the coconut sugar though because they've already been bathing in sugar. And here's the beauty of this recipe is you can make any cobbler out of this. You pick your fruit. We're doing peach today, obviously, because someone requested it. When you put the fruit in the oven, make sure you cover it with a lid or tin foil or aluminum foil. We're gonna bake it for around 25 minutes. If you're using frozen fruit, then you can bake it for like 40 minutes or so. And what's nice is that the cornstarch is it's gonna help it congeal a little bit. Congeal in the tasty way, not the gross way. While that's baking, we're going to make the cobbler part that goes on top, which is like a breading of some kind, bakery type thing. First off, you gotta make like a buttermilk, which a vegan buttermilk is easy. You just use plant-based milk and apple cider vinegar or any vinegar. I don't know if I'd recommend balsamic. How do you say it? Then we're gonna mix together like our wet in one bowl, our dry in another bowl, and then we're gonna combine it. Don't mix it too much. It's just enough until everything is combined. There's no dry spots left. And then once you're out of the oven with the fruit, you're just gonna plop that on top. It doesn't need to look super pretty. It's meant to be a bit of a rustic dessert. And then we're gonna stir together a little bit more coconut sugar and a little bit of cinnamon and just sprinkle that over the top of the cobbler bakery thingy. So after we plop that mixture on top of the fruit, we're gonna turn the oven down to 350 and then we're gonna bake it for another 25 minutes. Up to 25 minutes. Maybe start checking it after 20 depending on your oven. It should be like slightly golden brown. Let that cool and eat it as is, or if you have some plant-based non-dairy ice cream, load that onto the side.
Yeah, I definitely need some of the sugar.
You had maple syrup to yours? You didn't bring it for anyone else?
Go grab it. Go grab it.
No!
Okay, please.
Please, can you go grab it? Just saying, for vegan ice cream, vegan fake ice cream.
That's not... He's doing that because he knows it upsets me when he says, do you have any real ice cream? Because he's trying to insinuate that vegan ice cream is not real.
I'm kidding.
Not okay.
No, can I just say something?
Really good. It'll
Yeah.
be better if there was a low sweet in the topping, but the ice cream's gonna make up for it. But
I
if you
think-
were it's my turn.
Okay, let mommy finish.
If you were eating this as a healthy dessert, I mean, you could leave the sweetener out. It could be a good breakfast, actually. It's kind of like oatmeal on top. Like a smooshy
If you nodded.
oatmeal.
So what do you give it?
I give it an A.
Yeah?
I give it a B without the sweetener, and I'm gonna try it. B without the ice cream or anything. A with the ice cream and sweetener.
Okay. And did you guys have grades?
Yep.
Yeah, Mom said A. Mom.
I can see how some people would need that to be sweeter. I think it's good as it is.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe, but I think 'cause if you have ice cream with it, you don't need it at all. That's silly.
Oh, this ice cream is just really sweet.
Yeah.
I guess other ice creams that are less sweet.
I don't know. This is like an A+ for me. I think. I like it. It's good. Peach Cobbler. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this format and want to see us plantify or veganify more traditional recipes from around the world, let me know and maybe this can become a regular thing we do on the channel. In fact, a lot of the videos on this channel come from things I read that you're talking about in the comments below or suggestions from you, so don't be shy about that kind of stuff because ultimately we want to make stuff that you're interested in watching. Also, maybe consider liking this video because then it tells the YouTube algorithm to tell other people about it. Thanks again to our 30,000 subscribers, and if you're not part of that community, consider joining. And if you have a little bit of time, stick around because YouTube wants you to watch this video next. Right? I know. I'm interested in that one too. I haven't watched it in a while. Let me know what you think about that one too.